So welcome to the John Williams Show. And we're going to do something spectacular. Y'all heard that? To the John Williams Show. John Williams Shephard. Soup and stuff that I was doing. All right, my brother, all right. What they doing down here? This is nice. Welcome to the John Williams Shephard Show. It's warm out here, but it's gonna cool off a little bit. All right. We out here with the Ferris wheels and stuff here. So we're gonna go on the other side over here. Get to the Ferris wheel, you know. What can I say? We're gonna catch it up here. I don't know if we can go in. How to go up to the I really don't know how to go up to the top. How do we go up to the top? You park here, but then you go to the top some kind of way. And people is up at the top. But we haven't gone anywhere, we haven't moved anywhere yet, so I'm trying to get to the top. Might be this way. Might be this way to get to the top. Pier entrance. Pier entrance. So yeah, here's the pier entrance. You can go through the restaurant back door and get upstairs? Because I'm looking for how to get upstairs. It says pier right here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sir. Ma'am. How did y'all get up there? Ma'am. Ma'am. How did y'all get up there? Which way do you go to get up there? Around that way. Okay. Around that way? Okay. We gotta go around. Okay. Okay, so we're going around and we're trying to enter in. Okay, so I think that we're not the only ones trying to figure out how we get in here. We can try it. We can try it. We'll see. That's the restaurant area. That's the north to go that way. All right, we're gonna see how to get in here if we can.
That's for the pier, isn't that the pier?
Yeah, it says through here though. It says peer entrance. Yeah. No, but then I don't see how you can get in through that gate. Nah, I think we gotta go through.
Make it our way to get.
They said them
So we
girls
can't.
is
We
closed.
probably gonna have to.
You got to go around. It's down there, like I said earlier. I thought. Okay.
Everybody's trying to figure out.
All right, so we good now.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Camille Dial. I'm also a mental health professional. I'm right here in LA. I do a lot of my work in South Central. I work for the Human Health and Student Services out here. I'm also executive director for another nonprofit with NPN. I do a lot of advocate work with juveniles in mental health, and I'm just happy to be here. And yeah, this is my calling.
All right, Camille.
Thank you.
Hey y'all, my name is Williams Shephard. I'm from Atlanta. Let's see. I got my BA in political science from Georgia State University, master's from Clark Atlanta in criminal justice, and I'm currently working on my PsyD in clinical forensic psychology at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. I'm also a member of NPN, chair of the fundraising and forensic committee, and what else? I also have my own organization called The Daily Dose, where we curate spaces of comfort for BIPOC communities to promote healing and wellness, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, a powerful panel. Once again, thank you guys for introducing yourselves. So we're just gonna jump right into it. So what are some common mental health issues that athletes suffer from? And I'm gonna shoot this to Dr. Carroll.
Not much of an athlete, but I think one, there's no difference for separating them from the others, right? And there's that idea and the concept of performance, right? And trying to, from my knowledge, from some of the people that I've talked with, feeling like you have to create this identity for yourself, and reconfiguring. There's some people who go through isolation, depression, performance anxiety, different things like that. I know everyone's different. There's no cookie cutter way, but I don't like to identify them different from anybody else. But I know that, everyone, as they suffer from, different things, like if not being able to perform from an injury, right? Or, I know some people who sports was their identity, and then after sports it was like well, what's next, right? And then they kind of go into a depression because now they don't know what else to do for themselves. It's great to hear these brothers up here doing it. Wonderful. So it's good to know that, there are some people taking care of themselves. But, I'd love to hear more of their stories as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's really one of the reasons why we started the Sports and Mental Health Committee. Pretty much what you hit on, like a lot of people, athletes, once they transition, it's kind of hard to kind of find your identity. What do I do next? I've been this athlete. I don't want to go to a regular 9-to-5 job, I'm like 6'5", 350 pounds. What am I going to do, So yeah, that is definitely something that's very common. Anybody else? What are some common mental health issues athletes suffer from?
Just to chime in on the one of the biggest problems is expectations. So it's always an expectation put on you, especially it depends on how big you are in the community and the level of success that you've had. For instance, I grew up in the 80s, and if you guys are from LA, we had 13 channels, and we had 3 newspapers, and everybody read about me. They had to watch me play. So it was always a high expectations of me, and always to continue that it drains on you mentally. And fortunately for me, I carried that weight for a long time, but as you get older, you still experience that weight. And one of the problems I mean, for hometown guys that never leave, that expectation never goes away on being successful. And I never left the city of Long Beach. And from that standpoint, it's always on me to keep the people, it's pressure on me to keep the people proud of me. You know, and that never goes away. And that, for me, is I mean, sometimes you have mental breakdowns because you get tired of it. You get, and when you think of, and then you start comparing yourself to other people, like, I wonder how Michael Jordan handles this because he's a million times greater than me. And that's where the draining of that, but expectations from an athletic standpoint, especially if you stay where you stay, where you're from, and you had the most success and you never left that place, people always depend on you. And if you have it in you to want it to continue to live, you know, the standard that you set for yourself, you know, that's really tough. And that is I'm glad it's that's the truth.
Yeah, those pressures are definitely real. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. The expectation of yourself, you know, you don't want to really just by playing football, you know, I take into account how many times I've made mistakes, and I feel like that's a struggle because we'll go back and look at the mistakes and we won't move forward. Especially, I could count so many times where I go back and look at the film and I say, I could have made that throw. I could have caught the ball. I should have did this. And when you don't get over those things and move forward, it sticks in your mind, and now you're just continuing to live in that, and you're growing in that, and that's not good. So now when things don't work out, you don't know how to cope with it. You don't know how to take constructive criticism. It's just always down on you, and that's the pressure. That's the pressure that you feel, and then when it's taken away, right? When we only know one thing, like I say, for me, my thing was NFL was my everything, but it's really not my everything. And that's any athlete playing the sport, because once it gets taken away, what do we have? We don't know. So I think that's something that athletes suffer from mentally, because when something's taken away or it's only temporary, right? Sports is only temporary. Things are only temporary because they'll pass away. People pass away. Things, sports, we get older, it goes away. But we try to hold on to those things, and now we're just making ourselves suffer. And now it's like, what do I do? Who do I have? Who am I? And that's the main thing. How do you get to know yourself? And once you know who you are and continue in your life, I just believe that's when God comes into play. That's my personal experience, where I can still continue this legacy for me through different avenues in my passions, in my desires. So now I'm moving forward in that. You know, I can't be stopped. And it's just really taking into account of the awareness of it.
Right.
Are you aware of it?
That's true, and it actually brings me to my next question. So over the years, we've seen many athletes step up and take a break for their mental health. What are your guys' thoughts on that, and what do you think the coaches and maybe athletic offices can do to assist to support athletes who are taking this break?
All right, well, when you ask this question, the first thing I think about is Naomi Osaka and Simone Biles.
Right.
I really appreciated that, just for them being young women, but also young Black women, and knowing that stigma, stereotypes that we have just to be strong all the time, seeing them take that time for themselves and step away, especially in like such an important moment, I feel like really spoke volumes. And I just feel like that everyone just needs to be supportive. It should be implemented within the system, you know, to be able to have, even if it's like a mental health workshop, a self-care day, whatever it may be, just implement those things so that when people are feeling overwhelmed, they know where to go, they know where to find those resources, and they also have their own effective coping skills that they can use. And then also that'll like create a space where they feel more comfortable to be able to go to a coach or go to whoever and say, hey, I'm going through this and it's really been tough and I need this time. I feel like a lot of times we see athletes and we forget that they're also people as well, just like us, and they have their own things going on. So I just think that's super important just for everybody to be super supportive, because I do remember there was a lot of people who were criticizing them because they were taking care of their mental health. And like, if we keep doing that stigma that we have around mental health is only going to continue to grow. So just creating that supportive environment is super important.
Thank you, Wilma.
I think, I think that it's really, if you look at it, the athletic community is its own community too, just like we identify the Black community, the Latin community and whatnot. And so within that community, talking about mental health is become, well, it's taboo, right? Just like in the Black community, we don't talk about mental health and I think that, it should be praised that these people are trying to change the narrative, right? Just as we as a culture are trying to change that narrative and engage more in the conversations, because we know, like in our community, our parents told us, you don't go telling those folks about your problems, right? You don't go talking about these types of things, or just pray about it, right? But we know prayer without works is dead. So it's like you have to do the work, and so that they're doing the work to change the narrative and creating more of a space to feel inclusive for newer upcoming athletes.
Thank you, Dr. Carroll.
Yeah, what came to mind, I thought about perfectionism. Perfection. Having to be perfected. Trained to be perfected. And being perfected means being perfect. Personality, how you look, what you do, even on your downtime. What downtime? And the pressure of being able to, it's very difficult I would think, for someone who is in the public's eye to be able to say, I'm tired. Or I'm not feeling good right now. I need to sleep a little bit longer. Because they're constantly drilled. The way you eat, your life changes, life stages, what you go through, your medical, how you feeling if you get hurt. But you have to keep going. That's hard.
Yeah, you're right. Let me ask Chucky a question, because I see Chucky, you staring off into space right now. I want to know, did you have a moment where you could go to your coach and ask, can I take a mental health break, or I need a mental health break?
Well, in athletics, there's no days off. I'm a performance specialist, so I train athletes. I stopped playing football. There's no days off. That's just how it is. You taught that from an early age. And the fear of being weak in athletics is just not acceptable. So when you're a kid at age 8 years old, you start playing football, right? And they see something special in you. That's when your life changes. That's when you start becoming accountable for your actions at that age. So when she talked about Simone Biles, what she went through and what she did, that's an individual sport almost. Ain't no days off in football. Ain't no taking no mental break in football. Now they're kind of doing that, but in reality, you got guys that probably need more mental breaks than the one or two that's done it. So, yeah, that's just reality. It's not gonna, like I said, I train athletes. It ain't no days off. Mental health, you got to figure that out yourself. And the NFL don't care. I'm just letting you know that.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel that they don't care there's no days off?
I was talking to Greg Townsend. I told you guys on a bar. I interact with a lot of athletes still to this day. But it's about the money in that business. It's every day. The funny thing, and what's your name again? DeAndre can tell you, like, every day you go out to practice, you're going to make the team. That's crazy. It's like, especially when I played in the 80s, in the 90s. Every day I went out to practice, I didn't go to just feel comfortable. It was pressure on me to make the team. You only have 3 people on a team that's pretty much safe. Anybody else, you know, their job is in jeopardy every day they are on a team. I mean, they go out and practice. So, I mean, so it's just like this. If you want to be in there, this is their business. They can run their business how they want to be. So mentally, you have to accept that, and that's how I feel. You know, it's just like somebody work at my bar. Here's my rules and regulations. You're gonna follow this or you're not, and that's how the NFL is, and it's not gonna change. So do I feel good about it? No. But they don't care about the athletes. Anybody tell you that? I mean, I don't know if you guys read what Eric Dickerson said the other day as one of my ex-teammates. They should do more for us. They're not gonna do more. Sorry for being long-winded.
No, we want to hear from you. We want to hear that. What do you think, DeAndre? I see you have a lot of different.
We're gonna do more. That's what we're doing here. But just my thing with that, it's the same thing. I think it's the coaches. The coaches have their egos, and the coaches can do things differently. But then their job is on the line, then it goes up higher. But just the coaches, even then, going into practice, I was on practice squad. I switched positions. I played quarterback. Now I'm playing receiver. Now I'm over here. I have to catch every pass because the standard is catching every pass when you're playing in Green Bay. We go to practice dropping 1 pass out of the whole week. And it's like, man, if I drop a pass, are they going to cut me? What's on, you know what I mean? And I'm doing everything they telling me to do. So it is a lot of pressure, and I just mentally we're taking on so much. It's not even physical pounding, mental pounding. Run this route this way. Catch the ball like this. Why don't you get your hands inside? It's so technical that we become technicians, and now we're like, we don't know that all this stuff is weighing us down. And that's where the mental problems come in, because now it's like I'm trying to fix other people after football, and I need to work on myself, and I'm being how they're treating me. Now it just goes into that. Now you're in a revolving door. You're on the little spinny wheel with a little hamster, and you're doing that. But you've been experiencing that, and now you've been taught that, and now you're living in that. And that just goes even with relationships. Your bad experience, past experience, now you're living in that experience. Your subconscious is already working in that mode because you didn't put in all that work every single day. And it just comes back to awareness. Are the coaches aware? I feel like to help other athletes that they need to have things like this, an event, to have someone come in and speak so they're not feeling so much pressure, so they can hear other people's testimonies and not always hear from their coach. Because as we get older, right, as kids, you hear your parents talking, you don't want to hear it. So someone else comes in and they tell you, like, okay, now I'm going to listen. So I feel like that is something that needs to be done in professional sports, high school, youth, college. And it's just really having events to where they can take a break and fellowship with each other, have conversations about this. So now, if you really want, this is my thing, if you really want your athletes to perform, now they'll really be able to perform. But they're not performing because it's all in here. So when you create that awareness, you maximize their performance specialist. That's what I feel like I am too. Chucky's performance specialist.
I'm sorry. So you just brought up something that was really important. You say you feel like a hamster on the wheel, like you're entertaining everybody. You know how they say football's America's sport, you know? You guys are providing therapy in a sense to other people by entertaining them and letting them escape their reality, but getting that as well. So what do you think is a way, and maybe the mental health professionals can answer this, or you guys too, the athlete can approach, the coach or, a representative of somebody on the team to let them know, like, I need a mental health break?
Take care of yourself. I think Chucky said it best. It's about the money, right? So the best way to take care of you is take care of you. Ain't nobody gonna love you the way you love yourself. So if that means that, Chucky, you need me to be your personal therapist to be with you in that room after that game to help come bring you down, to deal with if you made that touchdown or if you didn't make that touchdown, to work it through. You gotta get your own. If you have your own cook, your own chef, your own driver, you gotta take care of you. It just simply starts by loving you inside and out. Because you're absolutely right. If you don't have your mental, your conscience together, not to mention, you guys are ramming each other. We're talking about hitting your brain, hitting your head.
I was gonna ask you, can you educate us on TBI? What is that?
You guys know what TBI is?
No.
Traumatic brain injury. Who can?
Anybody know about traumatic brain injury? I can tell you a little bit. I can definitely tell you about neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, etc. When we're consistently impacting the electrical signals that's in our brain, it slows it down. It slows it down. Not to mention if you've had something to drink, okay? Because sometimes you might just get a little shot of something, right? And that automatically gives you a delayed response. So you have a delayed response from the substance or alcohol, on top of probably tired, which means that your GABA or your neurotransmitters are unbalanced anyway, and you're constantly going, and you gotta get up. You can't rest. So with consistently doing that over and over and over, and you just can't stop on top of worrying, and we're not even talking about the other part of life. We're talking about the game.